Hello, dear guest. For this tale I prepared a red velvet cake, as this story is of a vampire. He's or should I say, used to be a narcissist, but he changed after one fateful day. Let us begin. Upon his domain, watching many as he stays in his mansion, the biggest anyone would ever see, having the Count be annoyed to how the many others he passed by the manor not admire his grand mansion and praise it, having him put on his best attire to try and dazzle the many inhabitants of his domain, having him roam about with his cane of gold in hand, believing all would admire his clothing and stature, but all ignore and go about their day, having him angered, trying harder and harder to get any form of praise for his glorious position as the Count, but was simply ignored, having him clench his fist, leaving as he visit the Paul side of the domain as a shortcut back to his home, with many begging for a bit of coin, but the Count ignoring the people, as he preferred to be acknowledged by the rich, until a child, who was a little girl, begged and coughed slightly for food, having the Count look at the child, and with so much hesitance, he was able to realize all around him the poor that had been through such unfortunate lives, causing the Count to pick up the child and say he would give what the people here needed, having everyone thank the Count as he felt finally admired, but most of all, happiness in giving a helping hand, having him take the poor individuals to eat, bathe, and rest, with him taking the child like she was his own daughter, smiling. With months going by, the Count, finding his new purpose to not seek any form of royal praise, but helping many who have been in hardened times in the domain, and making sure his new daughter was happy every day, and being good role model for his little angel, until one day other royals were sickened by such changes in ideology of a Count, sending assassins to kill all the poor and the Count himself, with the Count happily caring for his daughter and the people he helped, when suddenly the assassins of the royals striked, breaking in, slaying all in their sight, with the Count grabbing his cane and told his servants of the manor to take his daughter and others to safety as he went, and handled the vampire assassins personally, slamming many heads with his own hands or smashing their heads to dust with his cane, until he heard a scream from his daughter. In worry, he quickly ran to the location of his daughter's scream, but it was too late, as the assassins ended the people he cared for most, especially his sweet daughter, causing the Count to be enraged. He swiftly, like a true vampire, ripped apart the assassins, leaving one alive to use ancient vampiric magic of torture to force the last vampire to show him who hired him through his memories. And when the Count got all the information he needed, he finished the assassin by crushing his head, quickly going to his daughter, crying blood tears to a lifeless body in his hands. As she awakens, ever so weakly, to say She loved her father. With a smile, she turned to dust, having the Count shake in sadness and rage as he yelled out, full of true pain and revenge, having him going out for this revenge. To the royal manor where all the people and aristocrats who hired the intruders to the Count's manor stayed for a party they all were having. The Count came barging in, surrounding the manor with a crimson shield orb to not let anyone be able to escape. And if they tried, they would be simply impaled by the blood spears that would appear from the orb, as the Count himself began to slaughter all the aristocrats in the manor with no mercy. And for when all the screams and noises of the slaughter ceased, the Count left the manor and buried all the people he cared for and stayed in his manor holding on to a doll he first gave his daughter, looking out to the crimson moonlight. So I hope this story was intriguing, as I remember being told this by the Count in person, and I still try my best to visit and give him some sort of closure, but being told this story, it still would be difficult for him indeed, and I do hope you all continued to have a wonderful day, and always keep that smile on your face.